Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Coco, and if you're new here, subscribe to my channel and click the bell beside the subscription box for post notifications, so that you'll be getting notifications whenever I upload a new video. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome, and how have you been? So in this video I am going to be talking about Chimamanda's new book, Zikora. So Chimamanda released the book on 27th of October, a highly anticipated book, and well, like all her books are, her books are very thought-provoking, and this one is not left out. So if you read the synopsis of the book, you know that the book is about a woman named Zikora that got pregnant, and her boyfriend, her lover, abandoned her. Abandoned her. That's what I saw on the Amazon website. And her mom, her Nigerian mom, went to America to stay with her till birth, and of course after giving birth. So this video I'm just going to be talking about the three characters in that book that resonated with me a lot, and they are Miliako, Zikora obviously, and Zikora's mother. So these characters, they are women, they are Igbo, they are Nigerian, and I'm a girl, I'm Igbo, and I'm Nigerian. So I feel like I understand some of the things that I don't know, let me say, that they are going through, that they went through in the book. And I don't understand everything. I'm just 21 years old, and Zikora is like 39. But you know what, I'm just going to start, and I'm also going to tell you guys the lessons I learned from each character and each character's story. So I'm going to start off with Miliako. Miliako is Zikora's cousin. Miliako is married. So I'm just going to talk about Miliako before she got married. So Miliako was seen or had this boyfriend that was a trade apprentice of her uncle's, living in her uncle's boys' quarters, and penniless according to the book. And obviously people were telling her that it was time to get married, and she felt that it was time to get married. I was able to kind of calculate that she would be 23 or even 22 when she got married to Emmanuel. So everyone was telling her, so maybe everyone, or she felt that it was high time she got married. And there was Emmanuel. Emmanuel was wealthy, and like Chimamanda said, he carried his intentions like a jewel. And maybe she told herself that Emmanuel is wealthy, Emmanuel can take care of me, and that Emmanuel is nice. She called Zikora, and she was telling Zikora that Emmanuel is nice. And Zikora was like, how can you describe the man that you're marrying with nice? And honestly, that's really had an effect on me, because a lot of people are nice out there. The man selling provisions to me in the market is nice. The man living down by street is nice. There's so many nice guys out there. I don't really think that you should use how am I going to put it, that you should use niceness as a reason for you to marry somebody. Because if that is a good reason, and that is the only reason, then I would be married, because I've met a lot of nice men, honestly, and older men. There's so many nice people out there. So well, she got married to Emmanuel, and 16 years later, 5 kids later, Emmanuel, it turns out that Emmanuel wasn't nice. Emmanuel was a rapist, was raping her. Emmanuel was is a deadbeat father. I don't know if I should use was or is. Emmanuel is a deadbeat father, and Emmanuel is I don't know, a monster, guys. And but she's still in that marriage. She stayed, and she's enduring all these things. And there was how Chimamanda puts it, that Zikora, she said something like, in this world-weary way of women that believe that men will always be men. I think that's one of the reasons why she stayed. And honestly, to me, she settled, honestly, because if she had chosen the penniless boyfriend over Emmanuel, a lot of people would tell her that she settled, because obviously Emmanuel was financially more stable. Yes, was more stable financially than the boyfriend. The boyfriend was just an apprentice, and but honestly, she settled because I mean, it turns out that Emmanuel was not a good person, and that is what matters most. Not really. I mean, you can't marry a poor person, obviously, but she didn't even know this Emmanuel. I mean, I guess her father or her father or someone in the family introduced her to Emmanuel, and she decided to marry Emmanuel because it was time. So, and she's now in that marriage, and she's not leaving. From the book, she's not leaving that marriage anytime soon. And some of us, or some of you reading that book, would think that she didn't want to leave that marriage because of her kids. Honestly, to me, it's not because of her kids. Her kids are not the things holding her back. I feel like should I say that she has given up? She has like given up and accepted her fate. Like, she married this man and that is how it's going to be. And what will people say if I divorce him? When I tell people that he was raping me in our marriage, what will people say? So I feel like it's still that same doubting yourself and listening to and caring about what people would say. So, but she's a very strong woman, and obviously she's a single mother, honestly, because from the book, Emmanuel was never at home. Like, most times Emmanuel was never at home. And another thing that really had an effect on me when it came to Miliaku's story was when she was pregnant with her sixth child, and the fifth child was just 6 months old. She called Zikora, and she had an abortion. And when Zikora sent her the money, she hid it in their child's dress, I don't know, in their child's drawer, because Emmanuel would never go there. I don't know if you guys understand this, because this is the little thing that you have to pick up from Chimamanda's books. Honestly, Emmanuel would never go to their child's drawer, because obviously it's the wife's work or the wife's job to dress the kids, to do all these domestic chores, to do all these things. So if most women now, if they want to hide something from their husband, they can just go and keep it in their child's drawer, because my husband doesn't touch these things, he doesn't do this type of work. Or maybe hide this where they keep in their kitchen, because men don't enter kitchen and stuff. Anyway, what I learned from Miliaku's story is that she's very strong, and obviously her kids are like her strength. I mean, she looks at her kids and she's like, it's worth it to stay or something. So, but she's a very strong girl, and and I admire her for that. So I'm going to go to Zikora's mother. So Zikora's mother is a cool, calm, collected, dignified, stoic woman. Yeah, I know all those adjectives. And she came from a wealthy family, married into a wealthy family, had one daughter, had 3 miscarriages, and had an emergency hysterectomy. So hysterectomy is the surgical removal of the womb, of the uterus. So Zikora's father married another woman when Zikora was 8, because he wanted sons to inherit his property, to inherit whatever it was that he owned. And guys, that's just the problem. Like, with my culture, with the Igbo culture, it's very, very patriarchal, guys. It is extremely patriarchal. Like, why would you do that? Why would you hurt your wife like this? And honestly, Zikora's mother, she just accepted everything without any objection, nothing. And in the book, she says I wrote down some points from that book. She said something like, your father will live here. My mother said with emphasis. He will always come home to us. She made coming home to us sound like a victory. This is your father. But you guys know that Zikora's father later left their home to go to the second wife's home, because something happened with their son. She said in a test or something, and then every weekend he would come and pick Zikora for like whatever weekend fun that they had for that weekend. And it's very very funny because this is the normal routine of like divorced couples, but they're not divorced. She accepted this thing because she felt like, okay, I can't give my husband any, like I can't give my husband a son or more kids, well, mainly a son honestly, or more kids. And he has to have his son, so I should just allow him to marry this one, to marry another woman. And honestly, I do not like that, because I hear these stories a lot here living in the East. You hear these stories of men like cheating on their wives, getting a second wife. And most the East is like is Christian dominated, so most times they don't even wed these other wives in the church. They just do the traditional rites and bring home these wives. And even sometimes some men that have nothing to offer, poverty-stricken men that have nothing to offer to these sons, will also cheat on their wives to get sons. What are you offering this boy? And legally, women can own properties in Igbo land, but you and I both know that the culture is deep in our society, and most times men remember culture when it suits them. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. Human beings remember culture when it suits them, remember religion when it suits us, but when it's against something that we want to do, something that we need, something that we want, we forget it and we say it's nonsense or something. So another thing that Chimamanda said concerning Zikora's mom was when Zikora said or thought that respect was her reward for acquiescing. Acquiescing, obviously, you guys know that it means accepting without objecting, without any form of resistance. So this respect that was her award for acquiescing was, when in their club magazine, her face would be the face beside her husband's own. Whenever they go for functions or events, she would be the wife there. Like people, she was the wife, according like what people would see. She was the wife. But let me tell you guys something. When people go into their house and lock their doors and have conversations amongst themselves, Zikora's mom is not the wife. Zikora's mom is just Abi. Let me just say, she's not the main wife. It will always be Auntie Waneka, because Auntie Waneka bore sons. I don't know if you guys are seeing this. Like sons, the male child is like, sometimes it seems as though the female child in our culture is like worthless. You give birth to them, you train them in school, they get married, and they are their husband's property, all that kind of thing. And honestly, it hurts because obviously I'm female, and then you hear them having these conversations and you're just like, then I don't know why do this, why bother giving birth to us? And then Auntie Uzo, Zikora's father's senior sister, said to Zikora's mom that you are the senior wife, like a title, a thing that came with a crown. As on onto, let me tell you, this Auntie Waneka, she's just, let me tell you, this Waneka, you are the senior wife, you are the main wife, you are this one. Let me tell you, I'm pretty sure, I am 100% sure that Auntie Uzo is the main person, or among the main people, that told Zikora's father to go and marry as another wife. Honestly, and I'm just saying this because most of you that might watch this, most of you that watch this video might be girls or women, and you might see yourself in this position. And honestly, I'm telling you, rather than being sad and staying in that position, honestly, I think you should leave, because it's not your fault. It's not your fault that you have fertility issues, or that you had to have an emergency hysterectomy like Zikora's mom, or that you can't give birth to, or that you've given birth to 3 kids and all of them are females. It is not your fault. These things are so natural. And for some of you and some people will be saying that, what do you expect the man to do? He wants sons now. Now, if the scenario was reversed, if Zikora's father was the one with this issue, do you honestly think that it would have been okay for Zikora's mom to go and find some young bloke and be like, look, I want a daughter, I want a son, and you have, I don't know, you can't impregnate me or something, so let me just go and find my, do you guys think that it would be okay? It wouldn't. It wouldn't. So that just goes to tell you how patriarchal, like I said before, how patriarchal the Igbo culture, the Igbo system is. It's okay for a man to do whatever he wants, but when a woman does it, everyone is like all up in hey God. But you know, and so I think Zikora's mom had to build up that character, that attitude of being cold and, you know, dignified and stoic, just to be able to protect herself from the hurt and the sadness of, you know, everything that happened. And that's just what I think, honestly. Then going to Zikora and Kwame, naughty Kwame. Now before I go to Zikora and Kwame's story, I want to talk about 19-year-old Zikora that was dating the college basketball player, that was in love with the college basketball player, and she was blind to a lot of things. Even when the guy was telling her that I don't do commitments, in the book Chimamanda wrote that the only thing Zikora heard was I don't do commitments yet. Unto that, she, Zikora, would be the one to change his mind, would be the one to make him change his ways, to domesticate him or something. Until she got pregnant, and she never told this guy. And when she got pregnant, she kind of like, she learned her lesson. And there's something that my mother wrote here. She said, I never told the boy who didn't love me, the boy I was trying to make love me, when I didn't yet know that you cannot nice your way into being loved. Guys, you see this sentence, this statement, this whatever you want to call it, like every girl needs to like get this line and paste it on her wall in her room or something, because most times we girls, we go out of our way just to make a guy that will obviously never love you, will obviously never stop being unfaithful to you, obviously never stop being, I don't know, will obviously never stop treating you badly. You try very hard, go out of your way to be extra nice, just to, I don't know, just because you think that he's going to change. Honestly, he's not going to change. No matter how nice you are, most people, most guys, their attitudes, I don't know, they're just who they are. They don't change. And there's something I saw on Instagram one time, was it on Twitter? Someone said that marriage is not the reward of being good or being a good person. You're judging someone for maybe having a tattoos, for maybe having piercings all over her body, and you're nice, you know, your clothes are very decent, you go to church, you do this thing, you graduate, and you think you're going to find a good man because of that. Trust me, no. Maybe that girl you're judging, that girl that you think that she wears exposing clothes, she might find the best man, and you will end up with someone like Emmanuel. You will end up with Emmanuel 2.0. Honestly, so I feel like we girls should just learn from this. And you know, she aborted the baby because she was 19, she was in a foreign land. It's understandable, and I'm pretty sure she learned her lesson a lot from that. So going to the main story of the book, Zikora and Kwame and the pregnancy. Zikora met Kwame and they had this naughty inside jokes about nuts, anything nuts, cashew nuts, tiger nuts, coconut, walnuts, the nuts you can imagine. You know, they were both in the law profession, they understood each other, they loved each other, they vibed together, like everything was flowing, everything was perfect, it was going great. Like, she was even surprised how she found this black, straight, cute, handsome man that seemed to get her. And you know, she was 39. She is God, I don't know the terms to use. She's 39. Kwame is like is 37. She was 2 years older than Kwame. Then she got pregnant and everything bursts. 2 seconds, everything bursts. I don't know. Yes, she got pregnant and she told Kwame, and Kwame was like, "And you let me come inside?" And she was like, "I told you that my birth control, that I stopped using the birth control. It was making me fat." And Kwame was like, "I can't do this right now. I'll take care of it or something." And she was earning more than Kwame, like she didn't understand it when he said, "I'll take care of it." She was just confused, and she was like, and Kwame left. Kwame just stopped picking her calls. She would text Kwame won't text back. She, like, even me reading that book, I was confused. Like, I don't understand Kwame. You are 37 years old, you have money, and whenever they would talk about the future, 5 years, 10 years, they would talk about it like they would still be together 10 years from now, or 10 years from now, 5 years from now. Then she tells you that she's having a baby, and obviously she wants to keep the baby and you run. You run. I don't understand it. And his radio silence was deafening. Like, hey God, yes, his radio silence was deafening, because she would call him on the phone and he won't pick. She would text him, he won't text back. And then when she was in labor and she gave birth to her son, she called Kwame. Yeah, okay, when she was in labor, before she gave birth to her son, she texted Kwame, "I'm in labor at the hospital." Kwame didn't text back. She kept on looking at the phone. She was just like, I don't know, like, reading that book, I understand how she would feel. Like, I'm a strong woman and my life just fell apart like this. She would feel pathetic, but you can't help it. This is a guy that you loved, that you still love, and he just, I don't know, he just stopped talking to you because of a baby. Honestly, guys, ignore that sound, because you got pregnant. So, like, and when she gave birth to the baby, she now called Kwame. She kept on calling Kwame, and Kwame blocked her. Guys, like, Kwame was probably like, "Oh, the baby must have come by now." I'm like, why can't Kwame accept this pregnancy? Why? Hey, God of Nazareth, this is your child. This is the woman that you love. Is it so hard to accept this pregnancy? And but Zikora is a strong girl. She's very, very, very strong, and her mom was there, and she and her mom, they're having their own wahala. She's having these thoughts, but Kwame was not even there. Like, how can you not want that child? Some people don't want kids, I'm pretty sure, but one thing I learned from their relationship is that, you see, communication is extremely important. Because if they had this conversation, where do you see us married, do you see us with kids in the next thing, I don't know, when we were having conversations about the future, what were they talking about? Their career, going for more dinner dates, and making more naughty jokes. Like, I don't understand, but she's a very, very strong girl, and all in all, I learned a lot from that book. It's just a 30-page book, and if you can get your hands on it, I advise you to read it. If you're a woman, I really advise you, a girl, if you're female, I advise you to read it. And even men, if you read it, you might understand, I don't know, you might understand something. And another thing that I also learned from the book is that sex education is really important, and you need to have that sex education talk with your daughter, with your son, or with females, as much as you need to have it with males, honestly. Because if men knew that birth control, that they knew everything about contraception, I don't think they would have had that issue. Kwame and Zikora would have had that issue, because there were lots of instances where she was remembering when even when she told him that she was no longer using birth control, how he reacted, and different things. Men don't know a lot about the women's bodies, and I don't know, that's just, it's causing a lot of problem, and obviously that book showcased it a lot. So but the question that I'm just going to leave you guys with, and I want you guys to tell me in the comment section what you think, is that in hospitals, after giving birth, there's a birth certificate that you have to fill. So in Zikora's son's last name box, what do you think she left? What do you think was there? Do you think she left it blank? Do you think it was her surname, or a hyphenated name of her surname and Kwame's surname, or Kwame's last name? What do you guys think? So guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and comment. Guys, this is a very, very interesting conversation. Comment and tell me your thoughts on it, and share this video to your friends, and subscribe, and click the bell beside the subscription button if you haven't done that, so you'll be getting notified whenever I upload a new video. See you guys in my next video.